Hi, welcome to Corebo. In today's episode, we'll be solving largest number with given some question. So this question has been asked in a Microsoft coding interview. So let us move on to the question. So in this question, we are given a person named Geek, and this person has lost his password to his locker, it seems, and our job is to help him find his locker key. But the given information is the total number of digits of his password and the sum of the digits of that password. Well, it seems a little off that he knows each and every detail of this password but not the password. Seems a little off to me, but still that is the question. Either way, we'll solve this. So the one more information that is given to us is this number will be the greatest possible number with these two informations, that is with n number of digits and sum of the digits as sum. This would be the largest number possible. Let me tell you an input or sample input that is given to make this question a bit more clear. So the number of digits, let us say, is 5 and the sum is 12. So the maximum possible value would be with, of course, the unit or the last digit as 9. So let's say we take a number of 2 digits. Okay, so what is the maximum possible number with 2 digits? It is 99, of course, right? So what did you do is we applied the maximum possible number to both these digits. So unit digit also has 9, the ones digit also has 9, or sorry, the tens digit also has 9. So we apply the maximum possible value for each of these places, and hence we got the maximum possible value. But we are given a specific sum here and we have to reach that sum. So what we are doing here is we have n dashes. Okay, we are going on to the nth dash from right side. Okay, so we are filling from the filling these numbers from left to right. Okay, so we are starting from the left side. So the first digit that we fill is, of course, 9 if it is greater than 9, right? If the sum of the digits is greater than 9, we will fill in 9 in there, and then we'll subtract the sum of digits by 9. So let us say we have the sum of the digits as 12. So 12 minus 9 would give us 3. So the last or the fifth digit from right side would be, or the first digit from left side would be 9, and then we'll move on to the next digit. But now sum of the digits will be 12 minus 9, 3. So now we have to fill in 3. We'll move on to the next element. Can we fill in 3 here? Yes, of course. We can fill in till 9, but we just have 3 and hence we'll fill in 3. Now we have 93 and dash 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 dash. There are 3 dashes. Okay. So do we have the sum of digits now? The total was 12. Now we have 9 plus 3, 12. We have reached the sum of the digits. So the only possible value that we could give to the other 3 digits is 0. So 93,000 would be the answer to this question. So this is the question, and the logic that we are going to use to solve this question would be first to check whether this number is possible. That is, if the maximum possible, that is the sum that is given to us is, let us say, 44, but the number of digits that is given to us is just 1. With 1 digit, the maximum possible number is 9, but the value that is given to us is 44. So it is not possible to create such a number. In that case, we should return -1. So that would be our first condition. If that is not valid, or if this is a possible value that we could find, in that case we would have a string and then we would append values to it. What value we would append? That depends upon the condition. That is, if the sum of the digits is greater than or equal to 9, in that case we would append 9, because that is the maximum possible value, so we would append 9. If it is less than the sum, if it is less than 9, in that case we would append that value itself. That is what we did in the case of 3. So initially we had 12, so we appended 9 and subtracted 12 minus 9 and kept it as 3. Now the sum of the digits is 3, which is less than 9. Hence we took that number itself and inserted into the second place, right? So now we have 0 total sum of the digits, and hence we filled in the other places with 0. So our first while loop would involve checking these two conditions and then inserting 9 or the value itself. Okay, so if it is greater than or equal to 9, we will insert 9 itself. If it is less than 9, we would insert that value. Okay, so that is our logic, and at last, of course, we have to fill in the zeros for the rest of the values which are empty. Okay, so this is the logic. Now we'll move on to GFG practice and code this logic. So here we have GFG practice. The function that is given to us is largest number. So we have to fill in this function. It has two arguments, n and sum. So total number of digits is n and sum of the digits is sum. What we have to return is a string that contains the output that we need. Let us start with declaring that string. So string, let us name it answer. So string answer is equal to an empty string. Okay, so we declare the string. First thing that we should check is whether the answer is possible or not. So if max or the sum of the digits is greater than the maximum possible value. So what is the maximum possible value? As I said, each and every digit should have 9. That would be the maximum possible value. So how many digits do we have? N. So if we fill in 9 for n digits, what would be the sum of the digits? It would be 9 into n, because 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9, adding 9 n times would be the sum of the digits, right? So that would be our maximum value. So if the sum of the digits is greater than the maximum value, it means that is not possible, and hence we would return -1. Okay, but if it is not true, we'll move on to the real condition. So the real problem would be to use this while loop and fill in these values. So our condition is going to be sum is greater than 0. Okay, so if the sum is equal to 0, it means we have a sum of the digits and we have filled in the values that is satisfying the sum of the digits. That is, we had 12 and 9 plus 3 satisfied the sum of the digits, and so the rest of the digits should not be filled with any values, because that would violate the question's condition, and hence we should fill in values only till sum is greater than 0. Okay, so if the sum is greater than 0, we are coming inside this while loop. So there are two cases. First case is the sum of the digits is greater than 9. So if sum is greater than or equal to 9, in that case what we should do is we should add answer is equal to answer plus 9. Okay, so 9 is the maximum possible value for a digit. So since the sum is greater than 9, we can might as well add the maximum possible value, since we need the maximum possible number. So we are adding maximum possible value for each and every digit. So we added answer is equal to answer plus 9, and we should subtract 9 from the answer, or sum, sorry. So we should subtract 9 from the sum. So sum is equal to sum minus 9. Now let's move on to the next condition, that is else clause. This else clause will be executed only if the sum of the digits is less than 9. In the case that we saw when we had 3 and the total sum of the digits was 12. So initially we inserted 9, and hence we had the sum of the digits as 3. In that case 3 would be less than 9, so this else clause will be executed. In that case we just inserted the 3 itself, right? So answer is equal to answer plus 3, but this may not be 3, it may be 4, it may be 5, it may be 6, it may be any number that is between 1 till 9. So in that case what we should do is we should not use this hard coding thing. We should do toString of, we have to convert this into a string. What we should convert into a string? We should convert the sum into a string and then add it to answer. So the sum was 3, so we converted that to a string and added it to answer. So now we had 93. Okay, so then we should change the sum as 0 and then break the loop, since our work is over here. Okay, sum is made to be 0 because the total number of sum of the digits that we need and the what we have is satisfied. So 9 plus 3 has given us 12, and that is what we need. So since it is satisfied, we are breaking the loop and making sum as 0. Okay, so since that is over, we'll move on to the next statements. Okay, so this while loop is over. After this, what we have? We have 93. In the sample input case, we have 93. But the total number of digits that we need is 5 digits, but we have just filled in 2 digits, and hence we should fill in zeros for the rest of the digits. That is what we are going to do now. So for int I is equal to the value of answer dot size of. So this gives us the length of the string, that is in this case would be 2. So we are starting from I is equal to 2, and we should fill in zeros till I is less than n. That is, remaining of the digits is which are empty are being filled with 0. So I++. Okay. And what we are doing here is we are adding zeros. So answer is equal to answer plus 0. So that would complete this program. But we should also return this value as well in order to print it. Right. So return answer. So this would complete our program. Now let's submit this code and verify our output. Apparently, instead of giving string -1, I have given integer -1, and that has raised us an error. Let's submit again. And we have got the green signal as problem solved successfully. And that is the end of this Microsoft Coding Interview question. Now let's move on to the write-out session. So if we pass in the values as n is equal to 2 and the sum of the digits equal to 19, what would be the output? Let me know your answers in the comment section below. If you love this video, please drop a like and comment down below if you have any questions. And please don't forget to click the subscribe button. We'll see you in the next episode of Daily Dose. Until then, bye bye.